Yeah, this is what's happening. So your aldermen are out there now hawking COVID shots. I just am. I never thought I would see this day when the carnival hit the streets and they used the Facebook Zuckerbug machine like a meth lab to go out and give COVID shots by public officials. I'm befuddled.
Good morning. Welcome back to Talking Racine. If you're wondering why we're starting a little bit different time this morning, it's probably because you forgot to check your clock. Turn it back. Right, George?
Transformational.
There you go.
Have you got anything to contribute? He's got transformational. You got maybe...
Geez, I don't know, man. I'm thinking there's so many of them.
Big and bold.
Big and bold is good. That's one of my
favorites.
Big
and bold, Jim Spodek over here. And I'm, what am I? I'm Dr. Jorgen. I don't have any designation up here. Hey, we're talking about the budget today because Corey Mason, in all his wisdom, decided to give everybody a raise in town. You know, all city employees. If you live within the city limits. 3%. And if you live outside of the city limits, you don't get it, or you get 1% or something.
Nothing.
This has got to be a payroll nightmare for the people writing out the paychecks. And not only that, man, I'd be pissed if somebody got a raise and I didn't get a raise.
Yeah, I mean, because of your location. And
yeah, I mean, just nitpicky.
So you hire them, and I live in Sturtevant, and...
You got my sympathy.
Yeah, no,
but they got Foxconn coming.
Yeah, whatever. Well, they also got they had Renaissance, which was actually a good thing. But you know, now you're living in the now. Do I move back to the city for 3%? No, I mean it's
risky. I mean, you move back and you're moving into an area that's got twice the tax rate.
Exactly.
That you've got and where you're living, so you might be losing more than you gain by moving.
I don't think it's going to encourage people to move back in town. Do you? I mean,
I don't see it. No.
No.
All it's going to do is create a little bit of friction amongst the employees.
If you're making $1,000 a week, it makes a difference of $30, and that's the gross. You got taxes to pay out of that, and Social Security and Medicare and all that type of stuff. So you know how much extra you're making.
You might have a down payment on a dinner over at the taco truck.
That will give you a little
That's
extra.
A division. I think personally, he creates this division in the employees. I just don't understand why. What's the purpose? 3% isn't going to change anybody's life, especially moving to the city. I mean, if he gave him 30% increase, and then he said, "Oh, maybe I'll move to the city and pay those higher taxes and the fees and stuff that go along with it," but
it's just enough to aggravate things.
And I think that's exactly what I'll tell you
like
what.
A little pinprick, you know.
I think that's part of it, though. I mean,
mosquito bite.
I'll tell you what, we do have a. All right, so anyway, I looked at the Common Council meeting, and there was a couple speakers. One particularly was an employee from the city of Racine. I just want to play his comment that he made at the 3-minute point at the Common Council, and then he's an employee, and he kind of brought some points up. Thought we'd listen to it and just.
Okay. Sounds good
ready?
To me. Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna put it on.
Say, if you live in the jurisdiction with which you work, you have more stake in the game, essentially. I don't find that to be true at all. Because I don't live in the city. When I moved out of Racine, that didn't mean I cared less about the citizens of Racine and the job I do. And the drastic increase in the HSA amounts is just ridiculous. Mayor, you yourself has preached unity, and we have to get everyone on the same page, and we've got to do stuff to work this out, become one. And your Build Back Better saying, like you tried to use on your budget address, I think this is totally the opposite. And you're doing it to your own employees. You're driving a stake in between them and creating problems amongst the employees. I think there has to be a better way to do this. I can see an incentive for people that are hired new to move into the city, but to kick the people that already live and work here or outside of the city is just disgusting to me. And I see my time's run out. Thank you, sir, for your comments.
Didn't use nearly. He wasn't using anywhere near 3 minutes.
No.
Yeah,
Well,
he had
he
so-
actually talked a little bit before and I did
did
a
he?
cut.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I think that part of it, I think that hit it. And I think that's really where the employees feel. Why are you driving a stake in the middle of the employees? You want to build a unity. I mean, every company wants that. I mean, that's what they strive for, to build a team,
Yeah.
And I mean, they spend millions of dollars to do that. Here he drives a stake in. My question is why?
Don't look at me. I don't have a clue. He's obviously. I think he's a political guy. He's somehow or another trying to curry favor, maybe with the people that live in the city. Because they're the ones that vote in the mayoral.
Well, yeah, I
race.
think there's
That's a
definitely politics
possibility.
involved with it. But think about this. He's taken his staff at City Hall and just what's he got? 7, 8 people now up in his staff. That's
Yeah.
almost this the controlling mechanism, and they're all paid very well. And now we take the employees down at the lower level, and let's just say that he's talked about new employees. They come on, you're going to live in the city. You're almost given you're almost leg up. I'm a leg up, even though this guy's here 20 years. This guy's just got hired, but you got a leg up because you make a little bit more money, and maybe there's other benefits that'll come in. He's building this top down. I'm in charge. This is I've said it before. He's a Marxist, and I truly believe that, and that's how it works.
A Marxist.
Yeah, he's going to control. Honestly, I've said it before. I'll keep saying it. He wants to control from top, and this is the way to do it.
If let's suppose that you're right on that scenario, then that would explain the divisive nature. Because
Right.
if you're going to control a body of people, you first have to divide them up, get them arguing with each other, and then you can have a better chance of getting control of it, which is a bit silly when it comes to the staff at City Hall. But if that's the way he's thinking, and he feels like he needs to put more control over these people,
But look at it,
yeah,
George, it's
all
not
right,
just-
I'll give half. I mean, that would work into that theory. Is all I'm saying, Jim. I'm not saying I necessarily. Not that I disagree as a Marxist, but that would be one reason. I think another thing is that I don't know that there's this tendency to want to. I've seen in upper levels of government, not so much in Racine yet, but certainly in the state and federal. There's a tendency to divide people up by race or by gender or something. There's always these people versus these people. You're constantly hearing it. So let's see. If we don't have that much of a problem saying, "Oh, I got it," people that live in the city and people who live outside of the city. Now there's a division, a new division.
I think that
A new discovery.
I think that he
Groundbreaking.
genuinely would like to improve life in the city of Racine, make this a better place to live, have a happier population. He just does have no idea how to do it.
Yeah.
Well,
Well, and you hear that same thing is going on in Milwaukee, and then that's when he could have just taken a little clue from up there and thought, well, they're in Milwaukee.
I think he did.
Let's try it out.
Yeah.
And it does say that I'm for Racine or I'm for Milwaukee, whatever it is, and so people that are going to stay in the city, we're going to give them a little bonus. We're going to reward them.
well, maybe that's the way to do
I
it.
mean-
Say if you move into the city of Racine, you're going to get a $1,500 bonus or a $5,000 bonus. Something that says. I mean, a lot of companies give bonuses to people that say, hey, you move here or you work a second shift or whatever.
Relocation
Yeah, relocation
expenses,
money.
yeah.
I mean, that's common. So why?
Oh, wait a minute. Racine is notorious for not giving relocation money.
Yeah, well, we know that. But no, I just think that there's a way to do this instead of why go after the 20-year employee at the Parks Department or the Public Works? I mean, why go after that guy? Why say, hey, you're going to get 3%? No, granted, 3%.
He doesn't see it as going after him, though. That's the problem. He doesn't see what he's doing. I don't think he really has a clue.
I mean, yeah.
Oh, you mean Corey? You don't
Yeah.
think Corey? Well, that's the problem.
Yeah,
He doesn't see.
he might actually feel that this is encouraging people to move into the city by giving
Who would
the
think like
6%.
that, George?
Well, a guy that can't figure out how to deal. Remember what we were talking about when it came to the arena and some of these solutions, these silver bullets. They have no idea how to improve a city, so they come up. These salesmen come in and give them these pitches of these stupid things, KRM or arena or whatever it's going to be, Machinery Row, and that's going to solve all your city's problems. Well, they're so starved for answers because they haven't figured it out. Well, basically, you just need to maybe deregulate, lower taxes. People come in and say, "Hey, good place to set up
and I
business."
think you brought it
But
up,
they don't
Doc,
do that.
before. Make a great place to live. I want to live here. I want to live here because we have certain benefits to it, and people are happy. And you want to move into that community. I mean, if you have your city employees who are really ambassadors in a lot of ways, I mean, a garbage man, anybody who's out there is somewhat of an ambassador to that city. If they're unhappy, you're going to pick up on that. I don't like this because the city's, whatever this or this.
What about all the people that live outside the city that now are they're getting walked over, they're getting overlooked for this little bump? You think they're going to talk to their neighbors about
Absolutely they are.
it? I mean, do you think anybody from outside of town is going to want to move into Racine?
It's already
They're gonna
got a
say,
reputation.
That town
Doc.
is crap. I ain't moving there.
Yeah, exactly. It's got a reputation. You're not helping it at all with this.
No, and the problem is that they don't see what you can do. They don't understand how people work and how businesses grow and that type of thing. So what do? They come up with these extraneous, stupid, off-the-wall solutions, and
Transformational ideas.
Yeah.
Generational.
Something like that.
Well,
Big and bold.
yeah.
here's the other thing. I mean, I just want to bring up one other thing. When you talk about, one of the reasons I think a lot of people don't want to get too tied into the city of Racine and actually go, and I don't know how many city employees live on the other side of the eye, is the school system. They directly say, hey, that school system is an issue. I want my kids to be in a different school district, and so they will move. And I don't know how many are on outside of the Racine Unified School District, but I think that's another. And of course, he's involved with that. We're going to push these things that are probably not popular to a lot of people, including city employees. I mean, this is a job too. They have to go to work, they get paid, and they have a life to live too. Just because you're a city employee, they don't owe. The mayor doesn't own you. And this is my real thoughts are. He's taken money from not hiring employees. He's got this money and he can put it into the general fund. That general fund becomes a very powerful tool when I can dole out money and you get a job, you get a job, you get a job. Whoops, you don't get a job. Or if you're still got to stay here, we're going to, make sure that you kind of a tear down.
Well, look at all the jobs that have been created. I mean, did we have a transportation officer before?
We had something, but, again, but look at it
now
this
we're
way.
going to get an equity officer?
That may be the silver bullet. Maybe that.
That's going to put us over the top, right?
The equity officer.
Yeah, there you go.
I'm
moving to Racine. They got
be
equity.
That could be it, Doc. We have equity, and not only that, we have an all-star running it.
Okay, the rumor is, now it's been sent to us multiple times, that is Jason Meekma.
Yes.
He's
Nice
not here
young
running.
fellow.
I mean,
Nice
he has
young
been the
fellow.
president of the council. I mean, he's been places, done things. This guy,
So it's a fairly
probably
hefty pay, and again, now we take one of the council members, Trevor Young, who he moved off of Aldermatic. Now he's in the staff. Now you take Jason Meekman and you move him in the staff. Now that's just rumored.
These young kids making this $100,000 a year too.
Yeah.
That's got to be good.
That's nice stuff.
I remember how much I was making.
But here's what I'm saying with Corey Mason. He doesn't go outside and say, "Hey, I want to find an equity officer and put an ad in nationally. Let's get the best of the best." No, he gets a guy here that I can control.
Right.
He's the management of the transportation. I can control. It's all this control thing. I mean, he brings in only
Although I don't think
doesn't-
he looks at it that way, Jim. I don't think he looks at a guy at control. He's looking at it as a guy that's been a lapdog.
An ally.
Okay.
Yeah,
all right.
But go ahead, Jim.
Let's say the police department. You didn't promote from within. You went to St. Louis,
Cincinnati,
or
I think.
Cincinnati or whatever. And this guy's. I mean, I've heard from a lot of officers that it's kind of. Is he there? Is he not there? He's kind of a mystery man, But again, who's running the show? And of course, I know the morale at the police department is way down, and I know it's at across the board, it's down. I mean, and then you come in with this. I can see where these guys or ladies are ticked off, and they may not show it, but it's going to show to the neighbor, to their family, to functions.
It's
not
just
a good
one
thing.
of those little irritants.
Right.
It's
Right.
not a big deal. It's an irritant.
Yep.
And it's like,
But if you noticed, he doesn't.
I can't wait to get
All
out of
he
this
does is
town.
bring in the players that are.
Yeah, the lapdog. I mean, how Jason Meekman got there and how Trevor Young got into these. I mean, for a young kid in his early 20s, or even middle 20s, to move into $100,000 a year job is pretty darn good.
Oh,
yeah, that's fat
and you saw him on the council. Just anything the mayor did, they supported. I didn't feel like it was so much, a Mason thing, pushing them to do something. It was their desire to please the mayor. I mean, before they'd say anything, it was like they'd glance over to the chair there and see what the mayor thought about it.
Yep.
It's good to be mayor.
Yeah, so I mean, they'd be they got rewarded for
that's
their
exactly
brown
what it is.
nosing, what we call brown nosing.
You do what I tell you, I reward you, and not only that, I've got a chunk of dollars now that I can reward you with.
Yeah.
So when you put the city employee who's making more than the private sector, I mean, it
used to be that city employees actually worked for less.
Yeah. Well,
the reason being that it was secure, it wasn't real demanding, and it was. When you retired, you had a little bit of a pension there, but now it's like these guys are getting top dollar compared to a lot of the rest of the economy.
As long as you're in the loop, man. As long as you're in the loop, man, you're getting good money. So, yeah, I don't know. It's going to be kind of interesting here to kind of watch and see where this all heads to. But he's building top down. It's top down. It's control.
It is, and when you see things like his huge staff he's got now, it went from a half a person after our first 150 years, and now he's got 5 full-time people on the mayor's staff.
He's making up for lost time. All those years when it was only a half a person. There was an employment deficit there.
Yeah. How do we make it? How do we get to that 95,000 people?
Here's the thing. It's not about taxpayers anymore. It's about this building this Build Back Better or whatever the hell he's calling it. I mean this mentality. I say one thing, but I do another. I mean, it's usually a recipe for disaster. I don't know if it'll ever happen, but the other thing is, Mason may be moving. I mean, you want to think Mason sometimes is kind of a not connected. He is very well connected. I mean, he's in this. He's in that major loop. I mean, they can move him around. I mean,
when he in his campaign, he was getting most of his money from Milwaukee and
New York,
East Coast.
Yeah. Yeah.
So I mean, he's obviously well connected. Yeah.
So anyway, we'll see where it all heads, but probably not the best move. But we do have the vote machine.
The vote machine. Yeah, the vote vehicle. Yeah, the old meth lab.
The meth lab. Well, now they're actually using it for something medical.
Yeah. What is it? They're passing out COVID shots.
Drive it around in the neighborhoods, and then the aldermen, supervisors I've seen go up to the door and hawk. Come on out, get your COVID shot. Come on out the door.
Amazing.
Let's get. And we'll give you $100, and we'll get a shot. And we can take you right in the old.
Well, how do you get that $100?
I think they just
cash, check, what?
A gift card, I think.
Really? Well, that's a good idea. Well, actually, that's a good idea. If it's a gift card that's going to be spent in Racine,
I don't know if that. Probably a gift card.
You can use it at participating.
Probably a Walgreens.
Merchants. Walgreens.
Go pick up some more medication. I mean, yeah, this is what's happening. So your aldermen are out there now hawking COVID shots. I just am. I never thought I would see this day when the carnival hit the streets and they used the Facebook Zuckerbug machine like a meth lab to go out and give COVID shots by public officials. I'm befuddled. I mean, I never.
That's an amazing role for an alderman to take. And can you just picture this? You got this meth lab, this vaccination lab out on the street there. It's a great big thing, and your alderman comes knocking on your door and says, "Hi, would you like to get your COVID shot? You get $100. Come on out and do it." And I mean, what has government become? I mean, that is an amazing phenomena. That you would have elected officials out there doing it.
Yeah, give them money.
You get $100 to go get a vaccination shot.
Yeah, that's amazing. I would be more impressed if they turned it into a soup wagon.
Yeah,
have some good soup on board and just drive around and you see somebody that looks like they're starving to death. Maybe they're homeless. Hey, come on over and have a bowl of soup.
Well,
Wouldn't that be cool, particularly
That'd
in
be
the winter
nice.
time? You could go into that nice warm place there,
Oh,
sit down, have a little
yeah.
bowl of soup there.
I remember when the bookmobile used to come around when I was a little kid living out in the county. It'd be cold as hell in the wintertime, and we had to walk about a half a mile to get to the bookmobile, and it'd be nice and warm in there. And books.
well, those days are gone, Doc.
Soups would be good.
Now look what we got today. Anyway, I guess that's. I don't know. I have no answers.
You're befuddled.
I am befuddled.
I'm flummoxed. What are you, George?
What am I? How about I'm a game changer?
Well, all I can say is there's some good employees in the city of Racine. They got to just hang in there, and maybe this will pass at some point and vote this clown out. I mean, I don't know what you can do else.
Well, when it comes down to it, I mean, the mayor is kind of up there in the spotlight, and he's managed to get himself in the spotlight mostly because we have such an incompetent bunch of 15 aldermen. The way the government's set up by state statute, it's supposed to be the aldermen's running the show. They decide what happens. They represent the people. That's the direction it's supposed to take. The mayor and his staff serve the aldermen, but it's not what's happening. So basically, it gets back to it's time to take a look at your alderman, find out who it is, and find out how long he spent going knocking on doors selling COVID shots for $100 a piece.
Selling them? No, paying you to take them.
Yeah, he's paying you to take them. Yeah, I guess. Yeah, I'm thinking.
I don't even know where the
I'm
hell the
thinking
money
he's
goes.
selling them to you and you get $100 if you buy it.
How many can you get in a week?
Yeah.
It's like
How
giving blood
productive
now.
was he? How many people did you get to take the poke?
Well,
So I mean,
All right.
until we get out of that mode and we get back to business is in the business places. It's not in 730 Wisconsin Street. I mean, or 730
Washington.
Washington, right? They're both 730s, but at 730 that's not where business takes place. It's out in the stores and out in the factories, and that's where it belongs. And until we get rid of this idea that that's some kind of a super people over there where we're paying them more than the average, you just talked about the salaries they get paid for doing these simplest. I mean, an equity officers, $100,000. Are you kidding me? I mean, what is that all about? Where have we gone with our minds with what's going on at City Hall? And until we get our feet back on the ground and understand basically the role of government, particularly the role of local government, we're going to keep riding the same train to hell.
Hey, if anybody out there has got a clue how to straighten this stuff out, drop us a line.
Yeah, we'll take it.
We're flummoxed, befuddled, and what are you, game changer?
He's game changer. He's all right.
Sometimes
All right.
I'm transformational, a lot of times a game changer. Other times I'm just plain old generational.
Well, there you go. We hope you enjoy that extra hour you're getting now, and that you use part of it to come back and see us next week, because we'll be expecting you. Thanks for being here.